Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
This actually has to be one of the easiest ones to expose as error. Some go so far as to define the word fulfill to mean done away with. So let's see if that makes sense, shall we? Let's reword that verse to their likening. Think not that I have come to destroy the law or the prophets. I have not come to destroy, but to do away with it. Rather obviously wrong, is it not? In fact, it's actually rather a ridiculous statement. Ever notice how everyone seems to have no problem acknowledging 9 of the 10 commandments? But when it comes to the one and only commandment that the Almighty specifically states to remember, it's this one they forget.
Remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
Notice the word fulfill used in another verse by Jesus, Matthew 3:15.
And Jesus answering said unto him, Suffer it to be so now, for thus it becometh us to fulfill all righteousness. Then he suffered him.
According to their theology and defining of the word fulfill, meaning to do away with, they are now preaching Jesus wanted baptism to do away with righteousness. Ridiculous, isn't it? Jesus went to John to be baptized by him, as the word declares. John wants to be baptized by Jesus instead though. Yet Jesus wants him to go ahead and baptize him anyways, so that he can fulfill all righteousness. Jesus came to magnify the law, people. He came to fulfill it. He came to make it real unto us. Plus, what of this passage? Matthew 5:18. But first, let's take that passage from the scriptures where it says, Lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world, and further drive home the reality of his holy law. In Matthew 5:18 we read, For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot, one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. It says here, until heaven and earth pass away. We understand here that the law of God will be here always, even to the end of the world. Do we not? Fact is, the heavens and the earth have not yet passed away, have they? And all has not been yet fulfilled, has it? And seeing how the earth and heaven are still here, the law must still be binding. And see how the law is still binding? We see that Jesus is still with us, even to the end of the world. Plus, with understanding of the real meaning of the word fulfill here, what is this verse saying? Not one jot or tittle shall pass from the law until all be fulfilled. Shall we rephrase it the way they preach it? They say, For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be done away with. Again, it is rather ridiculous, is it not? The scriptures openly expose them with such ease, it's rather laughable at this point, is it not? I mean, come on, they are saying that not one jot or tittle will pass away till all is done away with? What is that? Okay, one more point to notice here. The passage said, One jot, one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Look around. Has the heaven and the earth passed away? No. Then neither has one jot or tittle of the law. Let's sum it up. The main purpose for the walk of Jesus Christ we find in Romans 8:3-10.
For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, God sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh and for sin, condemned sin in the flesh, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Because the carnal mind is enmity against God, for it is not subject to the law of God, neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please God. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit, if so be that the Spirit of God dwell in you. Now if any man have not the Spirit of Christ, he is none of his. And if Christ be in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the Spirit is life because of righteousness.
And the righteousness spoken of here in the righteousness of the law that might be fulfilled in us. And by the way, the word fulfill in this passage, they say it means done away with. Truth is, their own theology exposes them perfectly. The law Christ came to fulfill was actually the law of Moses that held shadowy elements that point to the cross. If I were to ask to share one passage that proves he came to fulfill the law of Moses, which are customs of the Jewish nation as pertains to the feast days, I would quote Acts 6:14, where it says,
For we have heard him say that this Jesus of Nazareth shall destroy this place, and shall change the customs which Moses delivered us.
One last note, Romans 13:8 and 10.
Owe no man anything but to love one another, for he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law. For this, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not covet, and if there be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor, therefore love is the fulfilling of the law.
Read this passage carefully, and you will see that to love actually fulfills the law. The first 4 commandments deal with how we show our love to God. The last 6 deal with how we show love to each other. If you love as Jesus did, you will fulfill it.